Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm so dark. I don't know why. I'm coming to you for an update this week, and probably the bulk of the message will be about Corona and the test kits, and then we'll also give you a little bit of information about some upcoming early releases. I'm moving my lamp to see if I can make myself any brighter. So let's get right into this because you all know I like to be long winded. So, as I just said, the two things I'm going to be really talking about today are just giving you an update about some upcoming early release dates and talking to you a bit about Corona and the test kits that were recently sent home. So, I guess the best place to start is with sort of a where we're at this first week out of break. And forgive my humor on the screen, but as you know me, I deal with everything with a sense of humor, or I try to. So, as we're coming out of the holiday break, as we suspected, we're seeing some cases, quite a few of them actually, at school. Uh, I'm not an epidemiologist, but I strongly suspect it's related to the Omicron variant being in the area. I can see in contact tracing that things are a little bit different right now than they were before break. And it's definitely an issue that we're dealing with at school as we come through. Many of you know that a lot of kids have ended up on quarantine as recently as the end of the week last week. I've gone back out to the teachers again, asking them to consider turning on their cameras in addition to posting into the Google Classroom, just to sort of deal with the numbers of kids that are on quarantine and give them the best education we can. I'm sure many of them will. So having said that, yeah, we're kind of it's in an interesting spot. Our community tends to be a little bit lagging the state in vaccination rate, and tied to that, we have a very high positivity rate. And as a result of that, we're seeing cases at school, both amongst staff and students, both amongst vaccinated and unvaccinated. That seems to be the nature of what at least I suspect is the Omicron variant. So what we've done is on Friday, we sent home a test kit with every kid that was at school. These test kits have a purpose, and the purpose of that is really to do as widespread of a screening as we can on Monday morning to catch kids that may be positive and not even know it. Because in many of these cases, the kids aren't really getting very sick or not substantially more sick than, say, a regular flu, but they are spreading it around. And the bigger concern in that comes into spreading it to other kids who then bring it home and spread it to moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas. And then, depending on vaccination status, some of those people get really sick. And then we have problems with lots of people in the hospitals and things like that. So we're trying our best to sort of do what we can to screen. And that is the purpose of the test kit that we were sent home. So those test kits, and I'm going to forward my slide here, even though I love this picture and I don't want to leave it. I got to find a place for myself. This looks good. So these test kits were sent home on Friday. Every kid that was in school had the option of getting one. I will tell you, not all of them took them. We didn't expect that they would, but many, if not most, did. We're asking that parents administer these test kits tomorrow morning, so the morning of Monday the 10th. And the idea there is it's a screening, it's sort of a mass screening of our students, and we are requesting that if you have a positive result on one of those home tests, that you call the school and let us know. And obviously, if you have a positive result, we don't want you to send your kids to school. The confusing part about these tests and the rules in general right now, and I'll talk about the rules before I move off of this slide. If that test is negative and your kid is symptomatic, that does not mean send them to school. The nature of the test that we send home may not catch it if it's early enough. The kid's viral load may not be enough, so they may have it, and you get sort of a false negative. So if they're symptomatic, we're also asking you, and that's even one symptom, by the way, we're asking that you have your kids stay home and also contact our nurse, and we'll figure out what we need to do next. We would ask that all parents, if your kid has been positive to corona in the last 90 days, do not administer the test. It won't give you a valid result. So if they've been positive and come through it in the last 3 months, don't give them the test. And whether you want to report a positive or you have a negative symptomatic kid, or really if you have any questions about corona at all, at the bottom of this screen would be the contact information for our school nurse, Mrs. Miller. I have both her email and her phone number down there. I'll actually take a little bit of a pause in my talking right now, just so you can pause the video and write those things down, or you can get them off of our website. So if you need it, get it right now. So let's talk about the rules. The CDC is amending rules. The Department of Public Health is amending rules. The St. Lawrence County Department of Public Health is sort of looking at those rules and amending them. The rules are changing so fast right now with this that it's a full-time job for us just to try and keep up with the rules that we're trying to follow. And we are doing our level best of that. The superintendent meets with public health. I meet with public health. Our school nurse meets with public health. I'm almost a weekly, if not at least every other week, if not every week. And I'm guessing Mr. Brady is probably in calls with them multiple times a week at this point, just to kind of keep a handle on where the rules actually are. As rules change at school, we will communicate them to you. There's a lot of confusion right now because the CDC is saying things like 5-day quarantine. Well, just because the CDC said it doesn't mean that's filtered down to the school yet. There's a process that works through going from the CDC to the New York State Department of Health to the local boards of health, and decisions have to be made and things need to be communicated out. So bear with us and bear with the process. I know it's can be maddening, really. You watch the news, you hear one thing, and then you call the school the next day, and it's something else, and puts Mrs. Miller and myself and everybody really in a terrible spot trying to explain everything that's going on. But just know that we will communicate out changes, any important changes, as quickly as we have them and we know what they are. So keep an eye on this webpage, our Messina High School News Facebook page, your emails and things like that, for either contact from myself or Superintendent Brady or both as rules change. So that's sort of where we are with Corona at this point in time. I would give this moment right now too. I know Corona is a hot topic, and I am going to post this on our Facebook page, and I am going to leave comments on. So please ask as many questions as you'd like about the test and how to report and who to call and all the rest of that stuff. I really don't want sort of an airing of grievances about the whole process on the Facebook page. It's not the point of the Facebook page, and I'll take that stuff down as quick as it goes up. So having said that, that's the update on testing and where we are with that. I will come back to Corona right at the very end of this as well, just so you know. I did want to let you know there are some early releases coming up at school on January 14th, which is the Friday of this week. And then again on January 28th, we're dismissing at 10:30 on both of those days for professional development for our staff. As you can imagine, with the coronavirus, our guys need time just to sort of constantly recircle and readdress and figure out how we're addressing gaps that our students have in learning that have been created by the last year and a half. So we thank you for the time, and I just wanted to make sure we were communicating so you knew how to plan. So 10:30 dismissal at the high school on the 14th and the 28th. For your students, if they ask you, on the 14th, we will be running periods 1 through 4. And then on the 28th, we'll be running periods 5 through 6. There will also be some information for our BOCES students. When we are shut down partial day and BOCES remains open, it always gets a little muddy. So Mr. Chartrand will be communicating directly with those kids about exactly what the plans are for our students that go to Seaway Tech on both Friday the 14th and Friday the 28th. That'll be coming out early this week. So keep those dates in mind. Early releases coming up. And this is just about the end of it. So I just want to come back to the idea, the coronavirus in general. This is a delicate balance for us at school. It has been since the beginning. Every single one of us working in schools right now are being called upon to do things that we never dreamed of. Our teachers are teaching in ways they never knew. Our support staff are dealing with changes on a daily basis. Administrators, I'm doing things, that I certainly never dreamed I'd be doing in this career. And the main point of it continues to be this delicate balance we're trying to hit between the educational needs of our students and the health and safety needs in light of the coronavirus of our students. And it's not an easy thing to do, and they're very tough calls to make. We know from the last year and a half that having kids at home on remote instruction just doesn't work. It doesn't work educationally. We don't get to cover as much material as we would like and as thoroughly as we would like to do it. And it also has a profound impact on the mental health and well-being of our kids. I have 2 kids that have been living through this with you and your kids. It's not a great thing. So, we're constantly trying to balance keeping schools open and providing an education to our students, which we know is critical, with this need to make sure our kids are healthy and safe and not exposed to the coronavirus, but also not um, faced with the litany of sort of social, emotional, mental health things that come along with not being at school. And it's really it's a challenge, and I know you guys can feel it. The whole subject is very divisive in general, but I just want you to know that myself, everybody at Messina Central High School, and really everybody in the district K-12, our main goal is to try and balance our kids' need to be in school with our kids' need to be safe. We clearly are trying as best we can to keep the doors of the schools open, and really I don't see anything changing that, much to the rumors that are out there to the contrary from time to time. Certainly I don't mean that, certain, if things got bad enough and I had enough staff that couldn't come to school, I could see it happening, but that's not anything that, as of the recording of this video, is imminent. But with the nature of what's going on, it could change in a moment. um, but I just wanted to just remind everybody, really, in these very kind of crazy times, we are doing our best to hit that balance of making sure our kids are in school and receiving the education and all the supports that the schools offer, while trying to maintain the most healthy, safe, and emotionally stable environment we can at school for our kids. Um, I guess I just wanted to say that because I think, I just wanted to remind people that we're well aware and we're doing the best we can in a crazy situation. So, as always, I remain honored to be the principal at the high school and work with such a great team of support staff, teachers, aides, assistants, cafeteria workers, custodians, bus drivers, everybody. This school district is doing remarkable things during remarkable times, and I'm proud to be a member and part of the high school. So, as always, if you guys need anything, give me a call, hit me up on a private message or on a public message on the Facebook page, or shoot me an email. I'll get back to you as quick as I can. And if you need anything at all, just let the school know. We're here to serve you and our community. So thanks a lot for a few moments of your time this morning. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll see you around.